And what's up, everybody? It is Cheap Ludes back. Now, look, there's a lot of things in relation to NBA 2K23 My Team that the game itself does not tell you, and it would be very beneficial for you to know these things. So, I wanted to talk about a few random, I don't want to even call them tips necessarily, but just a few random things that you should know about the game that will help you succeed in the game. Now, this is going to go through a variety of random little things that I have discovered that are just like not chill. They range from like not chill to like kind of cool, I guess. So, number one, exhibitions. Always do your exhibitions every day. Like every day that you hop on the game, pop some dudes in the exhibitions. Now, look, realistically, the prizes aren't really that great. I mean, I've seen people get quote unquote great prizes, but I don't know how accurate that is. But it's always worth doing because, I mean, majority of these guys you're not going to be using anyway. What I would say, though, is make sure that there's no XP tied to any specific teams or any specific players before you actually put them in the exhibitions because they will be gone for a long period of time. It's just kind of the smart way to go about it. Like, the other thing I will say about exhibitions, too, is they love to give out prize balls. And especially the one where it's like a world basketball. Look, prize balls are essentially just free things that you get. They're typically like a couple tokens. There's some extra MT or something. You're never going to get anything super wild and crazy from the prize balls, but it is extra stuff that can be beneficial for you. I'm not over here hopping on the 2K sack train, okay? I'm going to say that they're very unrewarding and kind of a letdown, but at the same time, this is the game that we're playing. More MT equals good, so you should definitely use them, obviously. The other thing I will say, though, is if you have a non-broken open prize ball and then you receive another prize ball, you'll either have to A, send it to your auctions, and that's going to be the case with, bronze, silver, gold, etc. balls. But when it comes to the world ball specifically, you're not able to send it to your auctions. You have to sell it for 25 MT, which is, although not going to be a great thing that comes out of the world ball, it's definitely going to be better than 25 MT for sure. So if you have any world balls in your collection, before even finishing your exhibitions and claiming your prize, make sure that you play enough games to break that open so that you can actually have one in your collection. That I will say, because that has spurned me many times for sure. And it's not chill, but this is a good way to stack MT. I mean, to a certain extent. The other key I will say about the exhibitions, I'm still not 100% fluid on how they work as far as like the time limits go. I don't know if it's a preset time limit or if it's based on how good the cards that you put in are. I will be testing that out, but I've been waiting to test that out because 2K has been so glitchy and error codey. I don't want to lose any of my really good cards. Due to this, I lost Sapphire Shack at his probably most important point, which was like the first 3 days the game released, for like 2 weeks. So I would say, for now, just throw cards you don't care about in there. They'll still count towards your collector level even if they're in there, but you won't be able to use it if it does glitch. If it does, contact 2K support. The thing I will say, I'm going to talk about 2K support in a little bit. So, it is what it is. Also, a lot of people don't know how to use the prize balls, which is definitely something that you should know how to use because they are like beneficial in some capacity. So, first things first, you want to make sure you equip a lineup with the ball equipped because it doesn't auto equip to all of your lineups. You have to go in there and manually do it, and that will lead to some issues trying to break it open. Like, I've played a bunch of games with this limited lineup equipped and I didn't have the prize ball equipped. I had the orange ball instead, and that means that I didn't get to break the ball open. So you actually have to go to your team, make sure your team is actually the squad that is equipped, and then go over to franchise, and then you have to manually put the ball in. And the prize balls are always directly towards the end. So I have a diamond one and a world basketball. The world basketball specifically, I feel like a lot of people don't realize is actually a prize ball. It is a prize ball. It takes about 3 wins to open usually. I'm still not even familiar how many wins it takes to open these things, honestly. Like, I feel like it's pretty random. Maybe I'm wrong about that. I don't know. But you have to make sure that you're using that lineup, because just if it's equipped on your main lineup, but then you're over here using your limited squad, like that's your main squad that you have, and you don't have the prize ball equipped because, you didn't have one when you started playing limited and you just been playing triple threat and clutch time and stuff, it won't count. So you definitely want to make sure that you have that equipped. The world ball is a prize ball. It is. So cool stuff. And I had to actually exchange, I think, one or two of these, I believe, which was annoying. Um, because this is just any ball color, and I had to exchange a world ball, and I think there's another one where I had to do that as well. So it was pretty disappointing. Just like I had to get rid of a free agent player for a season 1 gold player pack for some reason. I don't know, dude. It's all whack. That leads me into free agents. Free agents are cool in relation to like collector level, and they do benefit you in the game. But if you have free agent packs and you have like a decent amount of free agents, there's a high probability that you're going to pull one of the ones you already have, because chances are you have the ones that are quote unquote like common. So what I would say is, if you have a bunch of free agent packs, just burn those free agents that are in your collection. Like, they're just going to sit there and collect dust anyway. Just burn them before you open these, just in case you get the same one. Like, maybe you can leave like one contract on them just for collector level purposes. Just to see, that way if you end up getting them again, you can just swap them out with somebody who has more contracts. But free agents suck anyway, so it's like whatever. Next up, we'll talk about tokens, because as many of you I'm sure have figured out, the token market will glitch occasionally, and you will not get the players that you have purchased. Also, if you already own a card from some other means, typically like a starter pack or something like that, it will eat your tokens. And then you will, like, for instance, for the Pistons, I had one left, and I was like, oh yeah, just a 2 token pack, so it wasn't that bad. But turns out I already had the dude in there, Trey Jones, so I just had to quick sell him. Which was like super frustrating. I burned 2 tokens for no reason. Tokens are kind of important this year due to trophy case. So just make sure you don't have the card before you select it, because it's going to be a pain. It's going to eat your tokens, especially if it's something like, well, I don't think anybody got any like the high tier ones from the starter packs, but you never really know. Maybe you did. I don't know how other people's accounts are. I just know my own. Typically it relates to the 2 token gold packs though. So next up, another thing people seem to not understand, which I understand people not understanding it because it's never been this way. 2K just decided to change it just to, I don't know, spite people. I'm not really sure. The collector level is only for player cards. Shoe colorways and uniforms no longer count towards your total card total anymore. So grinding like for, let's say, the lifetime goals, like these Atlantic Division stuff, like getting all these, I think the jerseys might count, but do they? Hold on one second. I'm not sure if they do actually. No, they don't. Yeah, they don't. So the only thing that counts here is player cards. So grinding all that stuff, will get you higher in the uniform and floor court one, which will get you some stuff, I guess. You get the wood ball, hooray. And in this case, you'll get a bunch of colorways and stuff, and at the end you'll get Hoff badges, but it's like, it's not going to help you get to any of this stuff. This is going to be strictly player cards. So it's just important to understand that, because, I mean, it's never, like I said, it's never been like that before. So, that kind of sucks. Next up, let's talk about Jaylen Brown. Right? Everyone likes Jaylen Brown. Everybody wants Jaylen Brown. By technical terms, you are able to do the Cam Reddish thing with Jaylen Brown if you do so choose to do that. Am I certain how to do that? Nope. Go find another tutorial, because obviously I haven't done it. I don't have any of the cards. But by technical terms, you are able to do that. Karl Malone is gate capped harder than I've ever seen a card gate capped at the very beginning of the game before, which is crazy. Look, it's Karl Malone, isn't it? Oh, the fact that he is so expensive is astounding to me. The reason he's so expensive is twofold. A, he gatekeeps Jaylen Brown, who's easily one of the best shooting guards in the game for sure. And B, it's because a lot of people got Karl Malone in a non-auctionable capacity. Like, same with Grant Hill. Grant Hill was so expensive because the majority of people had non-auctionable Grant Hills from like collector level or promo packs or something. So that's a lot of the reason that they're so expensive, which sucks for sure. If you do happen to get a token market issue occur, my best course of action, do not email 2K, do not go on their website and talk to their customer service. I would hit up their 2K support on Twitter, because they seem to be remarkably faster. And I don't think it's because I'm a content creator, because I've seen people who are non-content creators and they get back to them relatively fast. Hit them up on Twitter, just tweet out at them and just let them know, hey, you're having this issue, and they'll send you a link for a ticket. And because of the tweet, it, like, I swear to God, it puts it at like top of the queue. So that's how I would go about that. It's still trash that it's even in the game, but All right, let's talk about some fun stuff, dude. Do you want to get unlimited points and then you don't want to play unlimited? Oh boy, do I have what's up for you. Player locks. Oh, absolutely. See, you can sit here and change your lineup here and you could just go to position lock, right? Let's say I just want to chill, man. I don't want to do anything. Let's position lock DeAndre Jordan, right? You could do that. I highly recommend doing like the small forward though, or you can even position lock. Small forward is usually what I would go with, honestly. I would say point guard's usually not really good, but small forward or maybe power forward. Power forward's actually probably pretty good too. If you position lock, you can bang through so many games of unlimited, dude. You don't even have to touch the controller if you don't want to, especially if you're on next gen. On current gen, it's a little bit more difficult because the CPU isn't quite as overpowered. It's still kind of like god tier at times, but for the most part, it's not quite as overpowered. But on next gen, you could quite literally sit in the corner with your power forward the entire game and just like do this over here, and you can get a bunch of unlimited wins. You can do the same thing with domination too. The thing I will say is a lot of people will tell you to do that in domination, but you do have to be good. And I don't mean that in like a pejorative or a negative way. I mean that you do have to be good at the game, because if you sit there and let the CPU bang out against the CPU, yeah, you might have a better team, so chances are they're going to hoop at a pretty premier level, but at the same time, like, you are going to have to lock in at some point because you have to beat them by a certain amount of points. And I actually feel like the whole point differential thing that they implemented this year, I feel like it is actually directly because of the like position locks. I feel like they put that in there so that you have to actually play the game and you can't just sit there and position lock and just hope your CPU wins. Like, I feel like that's actually, they said it was like a quality of life change, but I don't believe that. I actually think that it's to prevent people from just banging through domination in this capacity. Because hypothetically speaking, I could just run this all day and not even be playing the game. Like, I could set up my Xbox One in the corner over here and just have it doing that all day, every day, and then just do whatever it is that I want to do over on my other console or on my PC. Like, it's that's probably why the score differentials are in the game. As you can see, I haven't played domination. People will tell you it does set you up. If you're going for the trophy cases, though, you do eventually have to play certain teams in Damo. So that's why I got to the Central, since I'm going for the Central first anyway. That way I can just bang through all these dominations and I can go ahead and get the trophy cards necessary. Speaking of trophy cards, there's been a few videos that were like, which trophy case player should you go for first? But those were a long time ago, and the game has changed a bit since then. So let's kind of go through, and I'll give you positives and negatives for every single player in the trophy case very quickly. Jeremy Lin. Jeremy Lin's real cool, but he's not going to be your first choice, period. Like, he's not. He's a fun card with a pretty solid jump shot. Everything's pretty good. He does have guard up on gold, which is pretty nice. If you're looking for a point guard, though, that can do a little bit of everything, Jeremy Lin is not terrible. He's not the best defender, but I'm talking about on the offensive end. On the offensive end, he can attack. He obviously can shoot. He can facilitate. He can kind of do everything. He's like pretty much the perfect middle ground point guard out of all of these guys. Like, 6'3", so he's not overly sized or anything, but depending on your play style, he's one of those guys that you can plug and play regardless of your play style, and he'll probably fit into it. So that if you're not really sure what your play style is and you kind of like to switch it up a lot, like Jeremy Lin's definitely there. Allen Iverson. Iverson's Iverson at this point. He gets a lot of steals. He's fast. He can dribble a lot. He's really fast. He can get to the rim really well, and his jump shot is pretty clean this year. So he is a high motor offensive point guard. He can stick defense surprisingly well, but if you're on next gen, it's going to get mashed into the ground. Richard Jefferson, I don't think I've ever seen anyone have Richard Jefferson, but Richard Jefferson looks pretty good. Like, at this point, like, is he going to be a top tier small forward shooting guard? No. But if you picked him up, he's good. Kevin McHale is one of the guys that a lot of people are going for, and the reason being is he can stretch the floor a bit with an 83 three-pointer, solid jump shot, and he's fast for a big man. So a lot of people are going to get him and run him at power forward, which is a really good idea. He is a pretty good player to pick up, especially because the power forward position is just super whacked this year. Bargnani, I think, might be one of the more slept on cards in the trophy case. He's never going to be anyone's first choice for pickup, for sure, because he is a little bit slow, but he is 7 foot tall, and he absolutely strokes from deep. He has Hall of Fame guard up, so it's going to be very difficult to contest him. If you're someone who is very good with the shot timing in this game, also has gold limitless, if you're somebody who can consistently green, Bargnani may be the guy for you. Patrick Ewing, he might be worth it. Not sure, you know. Then we go to the Central. Majority of people have chosen Derrick Rose. And, yeah, I know it's I can't sell it. I'm fully aware of that. Please stop giving me tips. I swear I turned it off. It says I've only played 2 games. Oh, I've only played 2 games on current with him. Derrick Rose is fire. Everything I said about AI goes for Derrick Rose as well, but AI is a better shooter. He does not come standard with Limitless. I put that on him. Brandon Jennings, another slept-on guy. Not going to be anyone's first choice, but he's very Allen Iverson-like. If you don't really like AI that much, or you're wanting to try someone else, it's not a bad idea to go with B. Jennings. Ilgauskas is the next logical step for a lot of people, because a lot of people went for Derrick Rose. He might actually be a better option to grab first. I think the point guard position is pretty weak, but you could grab someone like Jerry West and have a lot of success. And there's no position as weak as the center. So Ilgauskas can definitely hold it down because he can do a little bit of everything. Some people grab Rip Hamilton, and I think the shooting guard position is the weakest position in this entire game, so Richard Hamilton might actually be pretty good. Jermaine O'Neal, people are sleeping on. He's fast. He has Hoff Bully. He can beat up on the inside. Nobody is grabbing Alonzo Mourning. No one, but if you're on Next Gen, it may be one of the only ways to stop mashing consistently, but I don't know. Anton Jameson, I mean, he's good, but he's just like a way better Robert Horry, basically. So, I mean, I don't recommend starting with him or even grabbing him second. I promise you, there is no one grabbing Tim Hardaway. I don't see any reason to do Tim Hardaway when there's just so many better point guards, truly. Rashard Lewis is pretty good, but he's essentially just like a 3-point sniper. And at that point, there's no point in grabbing Rashard Lewis when you can just grab like a Horry or whatever. He doesn't even have clamps or anything, so he's not really the greatest. Kyle Korver, people are sleeping on Kyle Korver as per usual. They always sleep on my boy Kyle Korver. Hot sauce, always gets slept on. He has one of the better jump shots in the entire game, and he can single-handedly carry your offensive load. Russ is right up there with Derrick Rose as far as how many people grabbed him, and there's not much difference there. Wally Szczerbiak, very similar to Kyle Korver. He's got a good jump shot, great shooting badges. It's just a matter of, are you going to go choose Wally Szczerbiak? Probably not. Most people, either their second or first choice has been Arvydas Sabonis for good reason. He's unstoppable. Nobody's choosing Dikembe. Just like Lonzo Mourning, he might stop paint mashing, but he's going to just kill your offense. It's just way better Gobert, basically. Gordon Hayward, I don't think anybody's taking Gordon Hayward. It doesn't matter. Elton Brand is a lot better than people think. He's a good, ball-handling big man. Steve Nash is Steve Nash. You know what's up. James Worthy might actually be the best trophy case card in the entire game, especially with the weakness of his small forward position. The people who have him swear by him, so he's not a bad person to choose. I don't think anybody chose Jordan Poole, maybe some younger kids or something. He's not very good. Peja, in my opinion, may be the most slept-on trophy case player. The reason I say that is his jump shot is really solid this year. He's huge at 6'9". As I said in the podcast, he does look like he smells musty for sure, which is a positive. That means people aren't going to guard him as tightly. I don't think that's a game mechanic, but it should be. It absolutely should be a game mechanic. It worked for Adam Morrison. He just never took showers. People didn't want to be by him. That's why he was always open in college. That's elite level strategy right there, dude, for sure. That is such a good strat. Wish I would have done that back in parochial school, but at the same time I was in 5th grade. I don't think I was producing BO strong enough to keep people from guarding me, but that would have been smart. Not like I was getting ladies up in 5th grade anyway, so I really had nothing to lose. Peja looks good. Randolph, man. Michael Finley, man. Manu, man. This whole division, man. Steve Francis is probably the 3rd best rim running point guard in the trophy case. Brandon Ingram looks fun, but I don't think anyone's taking him. And Chris Paul as a reward, come on. Anthony Davis is probably going to be the best Opal reward, so that makes this division probably the best one to go for. I said that before. Drexler might be a close second. Yeah, Drexler looks pretty good. Jimmy Butler will be solid, but probably overrated. His jump shot is nice, though. As always, it has been your friend, Cheap Ludes. Not your boy. I'm no one's boy. These are just some things that I just wanted to ramble on about for no reason. So, it is what it is. I don't like to put out videos with, specific tips in them. Oh, one more though, real quick. If you're looking to get online points and you don't want to play online, find a friend. Go play Triple Threat Co-op. You can do that against the CPU, and it counts as online points. You're not able to get Bill Russell, Elgin, and the Silencers pack, no, but you are able to get random things here and there. So, plus you can get those, those point totals up. You know, it is what it is. I think you can get a centerpiece from this. I don't know, but if you go competitive, it's going to be a sweat fest. Nobody but Super Sweats is playing it, so it is what it is. As far as XP goes, my highest recommendation for XP is just to use these dumb skill basketball fundamental challenges because they're on semi-pro and they're ridiculously long. The ones I would recommend doing would probably be like not 3-point scoring or inside scoring because like post moves barely count in this game as is. Depending what you need to do, it's probably best to do the athleticism one, just because unless you need dunks. If you need dunks, go do the 3-point one and then just splash threes when you need to end the game. But if you need to do anything else besides dunks, just do this one because you can get dunks super easy. So anyways, have a good day, guys.